Hey guys, welcome to the Generation Podcast, episode 302, with Patrice.
Ooh, quick Diet Coke.
He's getting that aspartame in his gullet, down in his veins.
I need it.
So, when you fucking die, do you want to be cremated, buried, like as a body, what's left of it, or just thrown in the fucking trash? Or burned, like, not cremated, but burned, like where they don't burn you all the way, like the temperature's not hot enough, so you're not, like, straight ashes, and it takes, like, a couple minutes, right?
You have, like, a, can I get my body done, medium rare?
Yeah, charred. Like, thin-lipped women like their steaks.
Yes.
Fucking charred.
Just done, well done.
I want to be well done.
I want to be burned,
yeah,
but I don't want to be burned so much that, like, I become ash.
Yeah, I just want my bones to be softer than they were.
Like really soft, though. But, like, seriously soft. Like, soft enough that they could maybe become, like, malleable enough to, like, fit in, like, a conditioner bottle, and then someone can use conditioner of me when they're in the shower.
On their hair. On their genital hair.
Can we find that temperature?
Yeah, I think that temperature exists. For sure.
I would say, personally, I'd like to be buried. I've never liked the idea of cremation.
It's because you feel like you're
weird.
Is it because you're an athlete and you don't want, like, you're burning your formerly athletic body, or
well,
currently if you're, like,
now that you say that
out early, not on purpose, but, like, a bus hits you or some shit.
Yeah, you might not have much of a body left if you get hit by a bus, though.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Or
all right. I'm going to change my answer. Oh, right.
Yeah, I'd like to be buried, or I would be okay with well, no, that's stupid. I was going to say I'd be okay with being incinerated if they send my ashes into space. It's like, what? If an alien race finds my ashes, are they going to be able to do anything with them? No, probably not. If they find my body, can they maybe inject me with some alien semen that brings me back to life? Maybe.
You'd be butt pregnant with some alien babies.
At least I'm alive. And I'm living a slave life as an
alien slave. And that's how uncertain the afterlife, or the concept of the afterlife is.
I agree.
That we would take, I mean, I know we're joking, but there's some truth in jest, right? Usually, especially when you're joking about religion or
I think
whatever.
There's truth in jest in, like, almost all of what we talk about.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And aliens, like, harvesting our bodies, bringing us back to life to be enslaved as, like, handmaid.
Yeah.
That's having babies out of the butt. As ridiculous as that sounds, to some of us, it sounds better than... We don't know what happens to us. So if you tell me something happens to us...
I'm going to hold on to that.
I'm going to take that butt enslavement. Then I'm going to be a fucking womb for aliens instead of, like, the grand nothing. Because what if you're literally, like, it's like staring at a wall.
That's it.
And it's a void, but you can see it. It's not like a deep beyond void. It's like a narrow, like, shallow void that's, like, staring at a pitch black wall while you're standing, and you can almost feel yourself standing even though you're not physically there.
Yeah, you have no physicality.
And that's all it is forever.
That's terrible. That sounds like hell.
Right?
That sounds terrible.
That's a possibility.
Absolutely.
So in that case, I'll take butt slavery. Butt baby
Give me
slavery.
the butt babies.
Yeah.
I think what's really interesting about the concept of an afterlife is if you go through life with this foregone conclusion that there is no afterlife, there's nothing after you die, zilch.
Yeah. How do you justify that?
How do you justify that, and how does that affect your life then? If there's this possibility, and I think there is.
There's gotta be, because fuck it.
Right?
Like don't just pretend there is.
Or even if you don't believe, if you don't believe it, pretend.
Yeah, you don't have to fully believe it. You can just, like, think of it sometimes when you feel that drag and you can't explain it. I mean, I feel like I do a better job explaining than most because I feel it more often. That drag, feel it at some point almost every day. probably every day.
Yeah,
where
me
you're just
too.
like, "Argh," and it's just you can picture yourself staring at that
Yeah.
narrow wall, standing
like
without your feet,
Yes.
and like just fucking. So there's some dull pain sense of like that you're there standing, and there's a dull
You're like,
pain.
you're
and you're staring
there,
at the
and
void,
you're there
and you
now.
can't say anything, and you're there now. Yeah, and you're getting
Yeah.
a little sneak preview every fucking day of your life. So when you're like that, and you're like me, and like you, I'm guessing too.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, it's you just have to pretend.
Yeah.
It's like fuck it. In heaven, you can talk about that with people that are more of faith than you,
Mm-hmm.
and you see that nice little warm glow in their eye. They're like, yeah, and maybe they're fucking pretending too. They
Exactly.
probably are. They might not have
'Cause
thought
no
about
one-
the deep void, but
I think everyone's kind of pretending.
yeah,
With the exception of some super hardcore religious people. And if you bring religion into it, and you start to think about the afterlife concept with religion, look at these different, look at Islam. They're like,
72 versions. Is that how common is that in the teachings? Because I'm not going to read that book.
I'm fucking never going to read that book, number one.
I don't read religious books very much.
I don't read
so.
any books, typically.
And like I'm already if I feel like if I go into a situation like a text, a show, a movie, or anything with a pre-existing opinion of what I think I'm going to feel about it, I just fucking instead of like
Trying
going
to
through with
appreciate
it, I don't. I know I'm not going to really appreciate or have an open mind.
Yeah.
I'm not going to really enjoy it or get enough out of it. So I'm just going to take my pre-existing prejudices.
Yeah.
And that everyone does that. If you don't, you're a better person than me.
Yeah, if you don't, can you tell us how to? Because I don't know how to.
Yeah,
do
I'd
that.
like to wipe my mind of all pre-existing mental conditions of what something should be or is, like
What-
Islam or anything. I'd like to be like, when I think of that, faith, I want to be able to say, I think of the people that, hey, we stop 5 times a day, whatever we're doing, and you pray and you reflect, and it was like, okay.
Yeah.
I wish that's the first thing I thought of.
It's not, though.
It's not.
And it's
Other
not
things-
for me.
other
the
things
first
are-
thing that I think
yeah.
of is that they have like a black market carpet salesman that goes around to each household and sells you a 4x2 carpet for you to pray on.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's like one of the many thoughts.
I think of just like some of the extremism, and it's like,
I mean, that guy's probably an extremist.
oh yeah, he's extremely into carpets.
He's like, oh, Allahu Akbar! You take my carpet, you get 2 for 1! Or I kill you!
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, Indonesia. It's tough. Like you absorb things like things from the news and things from like media, other media, social media, even
Yeah,
people's opinions and stuff,
people
and it all
around you,
dances
too.
around in your head
Yeah.
and in the back of your mind somewhere.
Yeah.
Like everything you've ever seen, read, heard, you absorb it somewhere.
You do.
And otherwise, how can we make references to things or jokes?
Yeah.
Where does some of the bullshit we spot out come from? It comes from having your ears tuned up just a little louder than other people's are, or your eyes a little sharper.
I agree.
Your reading comprehension just a little better. Because we're skimming too, but we're understanding that shit.
I agree.
Not enough to be educated on it, but enough to talk about it
And I think
on a podcast.
the key right there was on a podcast.
Yeah, you don't have if you're thinking about having a podcast, I used to say don't do it, but I'm gonna say do it.
Just do it, man.
Just do it.
You
It's really easy. I'll help you.
Yeah, the learning curve, sure, I guess months back I was nervous for the first couple, but after 1 or 2, it's like, okay, I know what I'm doing. This is
Yeah.
You talk with an open mind.
You're talking at that black wall that doesn't talk back.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it 3 days a
Honestly.
week, says Patrice. 7 days a week, says me. It's fine. It's not ideal, but it's fine.
No, but I liked the point you made about because there's certainly people that are in life that aren't good with references, that don't make quippy puns or don't have that. It's because their brains are built differently. I'm sure they think differently.
Yeah, 100% they think differently from us.
I'd like to...
Like the guy that we worked with that we played basketball with. That was kind of small towny and
Oh, like on the spectrum? That guy?
No, the guy that
Bowl cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bowl cut, weird chin strap,
beard
thing
going on.
Yeah, like
he was a nice guy,
super nice guy,
but
definitely different brain.
Because I think the way, like your brain is kind of the foundation rock below, like a lot of it, right?
Yeah.
It's like the way you think is gonna dictate the way you act, the way you dress, like your personality, all these things. So it's like that goes to show that like everyone thinks differently, everyone has their own perception and their own reality. Because everyone's
in his reality, having a bowl cut is fine, and having a chin strap with a bowl cut is fine.
It's fine.
So you look like a Quaker or like an Amish man.
Yeah, he did.
But he had game.
But he was good, man. He was a good point guard.
Good shooter.
It was good. Especially. I love seeing you could, regardless of your personality or how you act. If you're an athlete and you're competitive, that competitive nature is going to come out at some point. And he was a slow burn. It took him a while to get there.
When my friend, the one time my friend came to play, and they clashed because the guy we're talking about with the chin strap, he isn't confrontational.
Yeah.
And so I could tell he was like uncomfortable by my friend's like ego and like alpha drive on the court he just walked onto.
Yeah.
And I'm just so used to it, and it took me back to playing like rec league there 12 years ago or whatever, and being on his team and yelling at each other on the court during the game, and everyone else on our team, with the exception of maybe one or two people, would be like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I didn't see anything wrong with it, but you had more real athletic experience, as did he. Played AAU. Is it unusual to have people jaw at each other? Like, soccer's a little different from basketball, but
no, I think soccer. Well, it is. I think it is, and it
there's
isn't.
more people on the field.
But that same, it depends on the level you're playing. But it's the same type of thing. It's like I think that's normal. I think there's always going to be those people. It's because you view the game a certain way. Yeah. It's like if you are just in it for fun and you're just there to be like a participant.
I don't do anything for fun.
Yeah,
I do nothing for fun.
I
want to destroy. I want to be the best. I want to eat the heart of anyone that comes across me.
That's what drives me, man.
I want to do it in front of their firstborn.
And maybe their secondborn.
Yeah, their secondborn too.
The one that's even younger.
The one that has potential.
Patrice has unplugged the charging station.
It's plugged in, but it's okay. You plug it in anyways. I want to see you carry this through. I played, like, even soccer. I'm not very good, but I don't just play it for fun. Like, I want, like, if I'm playing on a team, I want that team to do better. I want that team to win because of my contributions actually being something valuable. So I'm like, okay, which position in this sport that I don't know well can I play realistically? And it's not. I don't even know the damn positions. Aside from striker and there's striker, forward, center, right?
So you got there's like interchangeable words.
Okay.
So you have
and then there's the backline defenders, and I'm like,
you have your forwards, midfielders, defenders, and then you have like your outside mids, which people call wingers.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I had like the speed or like agility of like maybe not the outside. That's for the stronger kickers, right? The ones the inside mids that just go back and forth a lot.
The inside mids, you're gonna play in like the center of the field, which that'd be a good spot for you because you would pressure the ball,
and
give
a
lot of effort,
toe kick to people. Like,
there you go,
simple passes. But the actual shooting, I fucking suck at that.
Yeah,
like,
and that's okay.
At least from distance, right?
Yeah,
like, and I one of my. I think my dad would be like, you should have played that when you were younger. I tried to get you into that, but you weren't into it. I was like, well, my neighbors were sociopaths, and they played it, and they turned me off to it, the way he acted when we played.
Yeah, and there you go.
Like,
I mean,
that was enough for I was like a sensitive kid.
That's a good enough reason to not play, though.
But it's just like trying to picture yourself with skills that you don't have. Like, my foot skills, just with the ball, aren't. You could tell, like, playing with somebody where, like, he wouldn't have been great with a ball.
Well, and it's so you can tell when you can tell when someone didn't grow up playing soccer.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can really say. I mean, I'm not a great example because I grew up playing basketball.
Yeah.
But I'm a much better basketball player I am now than I was when I was younger.
It's something clicks. Your body, your age in basketball, I think that early 20s.
I don't know. I think it's that.
Clicks.
And I think it's what you said, like you can't imagine yourself like with the skills. Like you're like, oh, that's never gonna get there. For me in basketball, at least like when we started playing pickup like a year and a half, 2 years ago, I would think of like I'd watch a video or like a clip of some like NBA star or college star. I would like watch basketball and would think about it because I was just at a different point in my life, and I'd be like, okay, I can probably pull that off.
Yeah,
and would try it with like.
I think it's easier, and not just because I can do some of it.
No, I think it is easier.
Like it's your hands versus your feet.
Feet are
look
a
at
weird
painting.
one.
You could train someone to paint with their feet. People that have had handicaps, handicapped people that are artists have learned to paint with their feet, and but that takes mastery versus like control.
Yeah,
and I think that's the difference in soccer and basketball. I think there's similar athletic engines that you need to like your body types because you're going back and forth so much, and you're stopping on a dime and you're going this way.
Yeah,
and that way you need that like combination of sprinting but like also endurance. And I think maybe soccer's a little bit more endurance than sprint, and basketball's a little more sprint than endurance because the court's shorter.
It is.
I think
that's true.
The field's wider and stuff, and the game is. I don't know which one's longer. Which feels longer. I think basketball.
Soccer's got a much longer field.
Yeah, no, for the time.
Oh, the duration. Yeah, well, soccer games are
60
or 90 minutes.
90 versus 40. Oh yeah, but there's more stoppages of play in basketball. So like. There is a little bit more loose twitch,
different.
But there's so much loose twitch in soccer too. And when people like had this conversation today at lunch, actually, it was like we were talking about like the most pinnacle athletes. What professional sport do they play? And all three of us that were there, me and my friend and this guy that overheard us, and he started this like chime in.
He just was like chit chatting along.
Yeah, it was great, and we were all trashing LeBron. And for his China thing, and we're like, it's basketball. But second to me, I think, is probably soccer, just because like hockey is so much skill rather than the sheer athleticism.
Hockey skill.
You need to be able to skate, which isn't.
You need to be able to skate. It is a skill, and then every once in a while, you'll get the one guy that's faster than everyone else, and that's that aspect of athleticism.
Connor McDavid. I think is it Connor McDavid? I feel like I'm calling everyone fucking Connor.
Yeah, you call it's Christian McCaffrey, not Connor.
Oh
McCaffrey.
Yeah, you're right. It's Christian.
I just thought of that.
He's hurt. Hurry back! I got you on the fantasy team.
He's 6 to 8 weeks, man. That's a
4 to
tough
6, right? Did they say 6 to 8?
I know 4 to 6. I think you might be right.
It's like, my heart jumping out of my chest.
My livelihood.
Yeah, right. It's my whole year. But like no basketball, like they're so fucking athletic. Not like even the ones that you don't expect to be like
it's kind of
extremely athletic, like the bench warmers. Like
I think it's because basketball
world class.
Basketball forces it weeds out the kids that aren't athletic.
Yeah.
It's just condensed. It's so much quick movements. You need the height. You need to be able to jump.
Yeah.
You need to be able to do those things quickly at a moment's notice. I think soccer is. I'd probably say soccer second. There could be an argument made for first.
Yeah,
I have a lot of respect for basketball. I would say the top athletes in the world probably playing soccer.
Yeah, but it's because
individuals.
Those leagues. Soccer has been around longer. Basketball was the late 1800s, super late 1800s. Or was it early 1900s?
It was. I think it was the late 1800s.
Yeah, it was super late 1800s, like 1898 or some shit.
Yeah.
I can't remember. 1896. It was at the YMCA in Springfield, Massachusetts.
There used to be a plaque
Dr.
out
James
front.
Naismith. Yeah.
James Naismith. Naismith or Naismith?
Naismith. It's a Naismith award.
How about Naismith?
Naismith. Oh, he invented horse basketball.
Yeah.
His son.
You toss a basketball up to a horse and it kicks it with its hind legs and goes.
I'd bet the fuck out of the spread on that.
I'd be like, oh, the referee takes a hoof to the face.
Oh, I would love it. And there's over-unders how many refs get hoofed each game.
I like it.
Yeah, I think this basketball is such a fucking incredible sport, and I think soccer is too. And it's just I have part of my respect for it was once I actually started playing it more. Like I played it when I was slightly older than you. I played indoor soccer, and it was so goddamn fun, and it suited my we'll say skill set, but like the quick darting around the field trying to destroy everybody, like perfect sport for me. It was honestly like my will and my heart are in basketball, but my skills, my actual like what I was gifted, if we'll say gifted, as an athlete.
I would describe you as gifted. You strike me as a short bus kind of guy.
As an athlete.
Oh, as an athlete. Yeah.
It was indoor soccer. Because you just go and you take the ball away and you kick it against the wall to someone else.
Yeah.
Because you know the wall, you trust the wall better than your own real ability
better than the path into the actual
to turn the ball while you have it and then like to point it in the right direction. No, you fucking use geometry. I was like, I know a little bit about angles. I know a lot of bit about being a fucking menace out there. Yeah. I was pretty good.
Indoor soccer's its own beast. I think it's much different than regular soccer.
Yeah, it's a different sport.
Almost.
Because like 3-on-3 basketball is so different than 5-on-5.
Agreed.
Half court is a different fucking game. It's not as fun. It's fun, but it's not as fun.
What if all professional basketball games were outdoor, and you had to play in weather?
That'd be fucking awesome.
Be like, oh, it's snowing.
I actually had a group project in a communications class at Michigan State, and we had a sort of business, and it was of course I took the lead on a lot of stuff, and I was like, let's do a fucking stadium that's indoor outdoor.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, but it's for a fictional NBA basketball team, and this is before Oklahoma City, and I call it the Raleigh Thunder. Ooh. And then they ended up having a fucking Oklahoma City Thunder. I was like, that's great.
You're like, that's my team.
That's my squad. And I was like, they have once a year. They move the game back and forth. The UNC and Duke game or whatever, playing outdoor to kick off the stadium. That's
cool.
And then these other lame people were like, okay, we need some bands. How about Coldplay? I was like, who the fuck is Coldplay? I looked at him and was like, I don't know who that is.
Good.
But it was like 2003 or 2002, so I was like...
We can have Coldplay come. Yeah, what's next? UB40?
Yeah.
Red one.
That's a Neil Diamond song, man. I only listen to the Neil Diamond version.
I'm not a big Neil Diamond fan.
What? I feel like I could get you into some of his tracks.
Yeah?
I would know the right ones.
Did he do a lot of drugs?
No, probably not. Maybe.
It's probably not for me.
Maybe cocaine.
I'm just kidding, man.
Or weed or somebody. He didn't do heroin that I know of.
Oh, speaking of heroin.
Yes. Bless you.
Oh, thank you.
Bless you, child.
Thank you.
Bless you, child.
So fun story from Patrice's life.
Heroin stories.
Heroin stories. Not me personally. For our avid listeners.
Just I know a guy. Knew a guy.
Several. Our hardcore listeners know Patrice had never actually used heroin. We dabbled in some other stuff. Opiates.
Yeah. Oh, they're opiates.
But I've been trying to get my paycheck from work for like a month and a half now.
What did you do for the new listeners that came in from
what was my job?
RBG episode?
I was a pony wrangler.
Oh yeah. No, you worked for a offshoot of Amazon, right?
I worked for a contract, subsidiary.
Yeah.
Subsidiary
of Amazon.
Subsidiary of Amazon LLC.
Delivery, I feel like every young artist needs to work for a delivery.
In some delivery, yeah. It doesn't have to be Amazon.
No.
But if you want to get fucked over the hardest, they're the company to do it. Big F you to Amazon, Jeff Bezos. I bet Jeff Bezos wipes his ass with like $1 million checks.
No, he wipes his ass on other human beings, probably.
He just takes an arm and just...
There goes that Amazon money.
No,
if Amazon, I'm gonna remember this one, and I'm not gonna delete it, but I am gonna hide it until I actually sign that check. Or if I sign that check, I'm like, it's a lost episode. You got to be a super duper Patreon to.
And Jeff Bezos is just gonna hack you. He's gonna be like,
wait a minute. We gave you $200,000.
Who told you
that I wiped my ass with humans?
Was it Mark?
Yeah, Zuckerberg.
Is he the leak?
Yeah. What easier target that doesn't work for Amazon, but in that vein, and then we'll get back to the heroin. We always come back to heroin. Always.
It has its effect.
It does. What was his wife's name? Mackenzie or some shit?
Who, Mark or Jeff?
No, Jeff. No, yeah, Jeff. She got like $50 billion, right? More than that.
Yeah.
How much of that should our government force you, like, settlements from, like, family, or I feel like maybe inheritance not, but like,
no, I know where you're going, and I agree.
A marriage dissolving, how much is a little bit more than you earned as a spouse, no matter how supportive you were in the early days of the guy's fucking company?
Was she around since day one?
Did you bring out orange slices to the garage when he was?
Yeah, would you bring Capri Suns as well?
Yeah, it's like, I mean,
be like, oh, but this one's for you, Timothy. Oh man, Jeff, your wife's the best. She always gets my flavor.
I don't care if you know she was the most doting.
No, she's not worth $50 billion.
She doesn't deserve that money. That didn't. Whoever cures coronavirus is worth $150 billion or $50 billion.
If not more. If not more.
Way more than that. But they're not going to get anywhere near that.
No.
For curing a disease or an illness or a virus.
Instead, this guy is just shipping out
the wife, the casted aside wife.
Yeah.
Sorry, but that's not worth $50 billion. No human being that doesn't contribute something in a remarkable way to society
should be worth that kind of money.
No, not when other people are starving.
No,
I think people should receive emotional validation for their role in trying to make a relationship work. But are you going to tell me that's $50 billion for anyone? I don't care who it is. I don't care what happened. $50 billion?
I think it comes down to it's just the way the laws. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
They need to change the laws so that you can approach that as more of like a case-by-case basis.
Yes.
Because if
cap it.
Or cap it somewhere. Is it a soft cap?
Yeah, it's soft cap. How does it make like Bezos more likely to like?
Oh, and he's already recouped.
Yeah, he has. Money. Yeah, commit hardcore to the altruism, because anything that anyone ever says about the guy can be utterly wiped away if he just is like, you know what, 70% of this, I'm spreading it out. Fuck it.
All over
I don't need this. I wanted this. I'm admitting that I wanted total control of the world or something. I have it. It's not that satisfying. You know what's satisfying? Turning every single person on Earth's opinion around on me, of me around like that.
Yeah.
That's what power is.
It is.
Being able to be like, oh, you don't like me, now you're going to like me because I just built 19 children's hospitals in Tanzania and our Tunisia.
Tunisia would be...
Like, you can do that. He could build a literal Death Star, though, also. And he might be more likely to do that.
I think him doing that would be the logical step on, like, the ladder of becoming a supervillain. It's like, oh, let me get the public to like me.
Yeah, and then just go against it. Yeah.
Or just keep with it and keep doing shady shit in the shadows.
Yeah, it's infuriating that there's a few people that have that much money. And we're not going after...
trickle-down economics, by the way, is bullshit.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Who was that? Was that Nixon?
It was during Reagan's time, but I don't know exactly when it started. I'm uneducated as fuck. But it doesn't work because you get tax shelters for each companies that do business overseas. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily primarily, but a lot of it comes from overseas. Like their goods that they ship,
outsource
made
everything.
overseas, delivered by a drone. And I'm not talking about a machine, but a person like you.
Yeah, no, that'd be me.
Yeah,
just mindless, bodiless, soulless.
And the worst part is like you're like, I might try to go back there, and I'm not. I didn't even. Did I criticize that? No.
No, you were like, yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's money.
I don't want to do it, but
of course
you know.
not. But it's like they're not taking us seriously as former employees of our
they're not
thing, and it's discouraging to like start somewhere new in that field, because you're like, am I ready for that, to go back to that,
and like start from ground
I do
zero?
Something else,
yeah,
with new kids, and like you form a bond, man.
You do, and you've built up a reputation at one place of employment. It's work. It takes work to build up that same or any reputation at another place of business.
Was that any of that replicable? Maybe not somewhere else, or like even with
it might not
different
be
kids come back. No, like it's like lightning in a bottle. It's just magic.
Yeah,
it was fucking magical. I miss it.
I do too. I miss it a lot. And the reason I said what I said about, I could go back to that job, is because the manager told me, she was like, yeah, you got shit done. And I like explained my situation. I'm like, yeah, the reason I left, I like if I didn't hurt my shoulder and my old job didn't reach out to me, I probably wouldn't have left, And she was like, yeah, well, she's like, you got shit done, I'm sure they would take you back. And for a second, a glimmer of like appreciation built up of like, yeah, I got shit done. And they're hiring and they would take me back. Starkly contrasted with our other job that is just absolutely fucking shooting loads on us.
Yeah, that they're loading up on our faces, basically.
And I texted our boss today and said, hey, any word on numbers, how they look? No response. At this point, I should expect nothing. Yeah. Nothing more. Should absolutely expect less.
Yeah, they suck. Like,
yeah, they do.
They're fucking not pieces of shit, because
I mean, I get that COVID affected them.
Pieces of shit have transparency despite being opaque in nature. I mean, they're little shit and they're brown and they're like roundish.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, I see what you are.
Yeah, but I know what you are.
Yeah.
You're a piece of shit.
You're a piece of shit.
I know that, and I respect that.
They're like, you're sitting down in the toilet, or you're sitting on the couch and you're about to fart, and you're like, ooh, I don't know if I trust this.
I don't trust this shart that's happening.
I don't trust this one.
Turn into something
worse. This could backfire.
Or when you literally unexpectedly, you're like, oh, that was an intense one, and you're like, you looked at you read the rest of your half article that you opened 3 days ago on the toilet. You've been there 17 minutes. You pooped for 2 minutes. You sat for 15. You go to wipe your ass, and there's blood.
That's a bad... Yeah.
And you're like, what?
What did I do?
What am I? What am I made of?
Am I a werewolf?
I thought I was made of stardust, and now I'm like, there's blood coming out of places that shouldn't.
Yeah.
That's what they are to me.
Yeah, I would put them on that same plateau.
But I want to, like, be able to shape lives again, even in that microcosm of the times we had. Like, a couple of those kids are going to remember.
Oh, absolutely. I think we made lasting impacts with some of those kids and those families.
Yeah.
And I want the opportunity to do it again. And it's for selfish reasons. It's not because I want to fucking work there. I want to work there for me. I don't want to work there for the company or for other people. Yeah, with the exception of you.
Yeah, I know. It's like, that's what we've talked about. We talked about teaming up, and we even wrote a proposal out. It fell on...
And it got shat on.
Deaf ears. Well, it
didn't get shot on.
It got shot on at the other spot, at the one where the Lego dude works.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, we can't afford that. I was like, then tell me and negotiate me down, you fucking schmuck.
I'm giving you an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, only we were asking for full disclosure, we were asking for $20 an hour, not $22, not $25.
$20 an hour.
To, like, help kids either do their distance learning in a place that's not bothering mom and dad.
Yeah.
So they can fuck.
And it's not with some random, babysitter that you just hired, right? Like, it's with people that are reputable.
They've been vetted. They worked there for years. In your case, over a year in my case. And it's like, talk to me. Don't have it pass it down through someone else.
They treated us like they didn't give a shit, number one. And they treated us like we weren't we never worked there in the first place.
We were top people. Like,
absolutely. Or you're
killed
talking
it.
about multiple Employee of the Month awards here.
Yeah, we were fucking destroyed.
And some people may be like, oh, it's just a fucking Employee of the Month award. It's like, sure, it might be, but that means something to me, and it meant something to the kids.
Yeah, that parking pass was laminated.
Yeah, and that...
They asked for it back, but it was laminated.
It was laminated, and it wasn't that, like, one-ply, bullshit. That was like a tritone...
Tritone plexiglass.
Tritone...
Like the stuff that you see in the fucking, like...
It's like NASA uses that type of lamination on
like
their
the
TVS
7-Eleven
reports.
you go, like, to buy your, like, protein bars and your coffee or whatever your healthy thing like that. I don't know where I pulled that from, but, like, and there's, like, this plexiglass that Will talked about in his piece or episode. It was, like, it was behind that, and it said... Parking, employee of the month parking, or whatever.
And it didn't say like employee parking pass, employee of the month.
Fucking month.
And actually, a little bit before your time, they care about their employees a little bit more, because along with that Tritone laminated employee of the month award, you got a free, capital FREE, free 30-minute massage done by the third party company that rented out a janitor's closet to do massages in the YMCA.
You could actually... What if you really clicked with the masseur or the masseuse?
Dude, that would be... I'd probably...
You could meet the one.
You could meet the one in the janitor closet.
Exactly.
Because you were doing your job the right way.
Meeting the one in the janitor closet because you were doing it the right way, and that's the only way that we do it. It's weird. I feel like for the first time, like, going into something new, I'm kind of motivated.
I'm not. I'm zero motivation.
But I know myself, and I know it has to be the right move at the right time.
It's got to be the right fit.
And that's why I want to, at least on the side, do something where I'm working for me, even if I totally utterly fail at it. It's not going to be a 40-hour venture.
No,
something I want to do the writing class, which
I think I think you should absolutely
I want to do it.
Keep going with that.
And I'm working on finding someone to partner up with, as far as like a TA, someone that's been through. If you're out there and you're listening, I just farted.
I know.
And you're listening for some reason, email us degeneratenation@gmail.com if you want to. First off, and two, if you have experience in a writing program and are interested in being like a TA or a partner in this venture, because I want to inspire people like we accidentally did for Wendy to unlock something as a creator, as a writer, as a speaker, as a something, get that creative spark, because I've been through phases of my life where it just wasn't addressed. No one else is cultivating it out of me, and sometimes your own resolve isn't enough. You need
you need an outside
touch of God, man. You need a touch of friendship.
Hey, has that position been filled for that TA for your writing class?
No.
You said you need writing experience?
Yes.
I have some. I kind of was the head. I chaired a writing club when I was in prison.
Oh yeah.
It was like a romance novel type thing. It was called Inmates For Intimacy.
Ooh, tell me about that.
Ooh. So
you're competing with Inmates For Intimacy. So get those emails at degeneration@gmail.com. There will be money. It's just, there will be money if there are students.
Yeah.
If not, you'll get some type of gift certificate.
You'll get some, day one we're going to open up with a PowerPoint.
Yes.
It's going to be an about us, and I'm just going out on a limb. If I do get the spot,
Inmates For Intimacy.
It'll be Inmates For Intimacy, and it'll be Crawdaddies. And we'll each give a rundown of, our projects, what they were like. Inmates For Intimacy. Myself, it was a very heavily, go figure, Hispanic populated club.
Yes.
I myself am white. I chaired a club about 15 to 20 on the high side.
Yeah.
At least 90% of those were Hispanic. It was great.
That's awesome.
I had protection outside of the club.
You didn't get to the
inside of the club though.
The nationalists. That's good.
No,
I don't want you going down that road.
No.
They use people.
They do.
You churn them out.
Let me tell you, these guys these guys know how to write a good story.
Yeah.
They,
It's okay, man. Oh, that's your bad shoulder.
It was my bad shoulder.
They churn out assholes like they pop out assholes like you put the fucking pocket out to show that you're down.
Yeah, man.
That's what your asshole looks like after the nationalists are done with you.
It does, but they protected me. They said, man, this cholo, man, he's good, man. They say he really know how to write a story, man.
Oh, he knows how to do a denouement.
We started off writing poems, and then we turned those to short stories, and short stories turned to, some autobiographies that had a overarching romantic lens attached.
Oh, what was it called again?
Inmates for Intimacy.
Coming to prisons near you. Our writing class. So sign up, degeneratenation@gmail.com.
Spots are available.
Hoo-wee!